Hello, Canadian travel agents. Thank you so much for being here today. This is Travelweek's Future of Travel virtual event, which we started way back in the pandemic with the intention of getting you the information that you needed to get through trying times. And we did get through those times. Things bounced back quite nicely, and people were zipping around all over the world again. But unfortunately, now we find ourselves in more trying times. The trade and economic concerns are a new challenge for the industry. But it is important to remember that Canadians are still traveling. They're just maybe changing their destination or adjusting how much they spend. Maybe Canadians need a vacation now more than ever. U.S. destinations have made it clear to us that they are ready to welcome Canadians whenever Canadians are ready to go down there. But in the meantime, there is a world of destinations for you and your clients to explore. With the travel industry back in the spotlight, and as travel advisors work as hard as ever to create fabulous vacation experience for their clients, we want to celebrate you, the Canadian travel agents, with this special event. Travel Week is also proudly Canadian to its core, born and raised Canadian. So we're very proud of that. And we're also proud of how resilient this industry is. So today's event is going to showcase different products, different destinations, all to help boost your selling power. We have many very esteemed industry executives here today to give their opinion on certain topics, what's going on in the world right now, and also show their appreciation for you, the travel agent, as it is Travel Agent Appreciation Day. Plus, of course, we have a lot of prizes with a Canadian theme to them, so make sure you stay until the end because you have to be online to claim your prizes. So let's get started. First, I'm going to introduce Catherine Folliott. She is the longtime editor of Travel Week. Hello, Catherine.
Thank you, Devin. I'm here with ACTA's president, Wendy Paradis, and also ACTA's director of industry relations and advocacy, Avery Campbell. Welcome to you both.
Hello.
So Wendy, I'll start with you. Right now, of course, we're in the middle of a trade war. We've got a lot going on, just barely a year after a full-on booking surge because of when the pandemic ended. So agents were having great times and we hoped they would continue. And now we're dealing with something that hasn't stopped travel completely at all, but has certainly impacted economic concerns and that sort of thing. Can you share with us, what are you hearing from agents? Are bookings still happening? Where are people traveling? What's keeping Canada's travel advisors up at night?
All right. Thank you very much. So we're very fortunate in that we have actually been able to speak to over 300 travel agency leaders as well as travel advisors over the last 4 weeks. So the information that we have is really up to date. And although government stats show that even in March alone, that travel to the United States was down approximately 14%. What our members are telling us overall is that there is a significant demand for Canadians to travel. And although they're seeing a change in the booking patterns, that Canadians are traveling, which is fantastic news. What is hot is definitely the Caribbean and Mexico as we were in the winter months. And we are hearing from them that Europe and especially Canada, there's a lot of interest in those destinations. Our travel advisors, for the most part, that have been impacted so far, they're the ones that tell us that they have focused on U.S. destinations like, let's say, theme parks in Florida and California, or family travel through March break, et cetera. So they've been impacted. We certainly have seen that our travel agencies and advisors that maybe focus on group travel specifically to the United States, that they have been impacted as well. But for the most part, including our business corporate travel agencies, that they're finding that so far there has been very little impact in bookings and financial. It's been more of a change in where travelers are choosing to travel.
Okay, that's great to hear. I'm glad, yeah, people are still traveling, just maybe changing their destination. Thank you, Wendy. I've got a question now for you, Avery. I know things are very confusing and they're changing. It almost seems like day by day, if not minute by minute. Recently, there was some news that Canada's travel agencies, travel advisors may be eligible or are eligible for some financial relief. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you for the question. So we're in constant contact with the federal government and provincial and territorial governments, not just advocating to ensure the inclusion of travel agencies and travel advisors in all government programs, but to advocate for programs that target specifically what they need. So far, the Government of Canada, the federal government, has announced some tax relief measures for businesses that some of our travel agencies and independent travel advisors may benefit from. So, really it falls into three buckets. So the first one is a deferral of GST and HST remittances for corporate income tax payments between April 2nd and June 30th. Second, the Government of Canada is waiving interest on GST and HST and T2 installments. Those are your corporate tax installment payments, and payments that are currently in arrears that are required to be paid between the same period. Finally, the government is providing interest relief on existing GST and HST and T2 tax balances between the same period. What's really important here is this program is available to all Canadian businesses that have GST, HST, and T2 filing requirements, and there's no requirement that your business prove hardship as a result of the tariff. So you're eligible by right. There's no evidence you need to submit to become eligible. One thing that we've done at ACTA is on our website, we've launched a Canada-US relations portal. Here, where we provide updates not only on the actions that are happening in the United States and how they impact Canada, but different programs available in our country at a provincial, territorial, and federal level, and providing updates on the advocacy work we're doing in this event.
Thanks, Avery. I can only imagine the high traffic levels that the ACTA website gets these days with all the information there. Thank you. Wendy, I'll go back to you now. Of course, cross-border travel is impacted. What are some other ways that the travel industry could be impacted or is impacted by the trade war situation?
One of the things that we've talked about with our members is that for the travel industry, we expect that the pain will not impact us in the short term. And for most of our travel agencies and travel advisors, that has been the case. Unfortunately, some are impacted, but so far most are not. Should these tariffs and trade war continue for the coming months, that Avery and I are fortunate in that we meet with the federal government, both global affairs and finance, on a weekly basis. And what we're hearing as far as data goes, and this is from the Bank of Canada, the chief economists, et cetera, is that every single Canadian will be impacted over time if we don't see an easement of the tariffs. So for our members, what that really means is if Canadians are having significant hardships, then that means that they don't have the disposable income to actually plan and travel around the world. So that's why we see it as a longer term impact. So we hope it doesn't come to be and that we're able to resolve these trade war issues. But it's really important for all of our members, travel agency, travel advisors across the country, that the impact is more medium term is where we'll feel it. and that we will all Canadians will feel it deeply. So lots of concern for the future if things don't improve.
Yes, definitely. The economic concerns I know are sort of the highest on people's list right now. Thank you for that. Avery, I wondered if you could talk to us about, in your role as Director of Advocacy and Industry Relations, what are some of ACTA's advocacy goals for the next few months?
Thank you. So we've been consulting with members across our base. So from travel agencies to independent travel advisors to understand what can ACTA do to support them in the short term, near future, and in the long term as we navigate this challenge. First thing to understand is this is very different than the pandemic. In the pandemic, our sector was the first and hardest hit. And we have the benefit in this challenge of not being the first and hardest hit industry. Impacts, as Wendy's mentioned, impacts on our sector will take time, and they'll be gradual and not immediate like we saw in a pandemic. So this affords us an opportunity that we didn't have in our advocacy to really work to set the stage with politicians and bureaucrats at all levels of government, continuing to educate them on how our sector works, where our risks are, and what the government can do to support us in the future. So that, the big story here is we have the benefit of time. We are working aggressively throughout this period to advocate for your interests, and as we enter a potentially new challenging period. Second, well, we hope it never comes to be. There may be a point where government supports are needed through different sectors of our industry. So we are using the lessons that we learned from COVID and leveraging our deep relationships with governments and politicians to advocate for targeted and direct supports as challenges arise. Finally, we have the long-term goal of building a better travel industry. It's something we've been doing for many years, and now it is more important than ever that we continue our supplier advocacy efforts. So we worked very closely with different segments of our membership to develop the 7 asks of travel advisors to suppliers. Examples of these are commission protection. So we are ramping up our direct engagements with suppliers on these asks. As the more industry moves towards following these asks, the more it creates security, not just for travel advisors, but suppliers as we navigate this challenge.
It really does say something, but it's true that the pandemic prepared, certainly ACTA, you're already so active with the advocacy, but also just agents and agencies in general that sort of, we've been through the pandemic, the groundwork has been laid. So let's build on it with educating the government about what this industry does. So thank you, Avery, for your work. I'm going to switch back to Wendy now. I'm going to get a little personal, Wendy. I think the industry has definitely found out that you are going to be leaving ACTA by the end of this year. And I know the industry is incredibly sad to see you go, but also just very celebratory of all the work that you have done, and just so impressed by how you have brought ACTA through, first the pandemic and now this and everything else that you've done. Can you talk to us a little bit about what this job has meant to you?
Sure. Well, first of all, I decided to become a travel advisor at 16 years old. And so, almost 4 decades later, here we are. And I have loved this industry. I loved everything about working in the retail travel industry. And throughout the years, have been able to meet some incredible colleagues, travelers, etc. So I have really lived and been able to experience a very enriching career, full of excitement, interest, even advocating for our industry, that it's been quite a journey. Because my heart is with travel advisors, that I'm so pleased to be able to, in my last year of 9 years being with ACTA, to really celebrate the important role that travel advisors and travel agencies play in our industry and for travelers, and have had the opportunity to see so many people grow and create independent businesses, be a senior travel advisor, or now a president of a travel agency or wholesaler. So it's been so enriching, and really it's all about, I know it's cliche, all about the people and relationships, and wow, what an industry to be part of.
That's awesome. I love hearing all those personal reflections. The fact that you knew at the age of 16 that you wanted to be a travel advisor, that just says it all. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really fun. And I know a lot of people watching right now can really relate to that. I'm just going to go to the very last question. I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm going to have a question for Avery. This is a very roller coaster year so far, and agents have certainly been through some roller coasters in their careers. But if you had to come up with like a mantra, just like something that agents could sort of think to themselves to get them through this year, do you have any suggestions or any like a message for travel agents out there?
Absolutely. First and foremost, and this is true for any business at any time, but you need to be adaptive. We really hope that the situation between Canada and the United States resolves soon. In the event that it doesn't, and the situation is prolonged, it's really important that businesses look to diversify their book of business to alternative destinations, including Canada. But again, we really hope this is a short-term situation and we continue to sell the United States fulsomely in the future. To learn more about different destinations, you can engage in education programs. For example, those offered by ACTA, from suppliers, or directly by destinations, so you can strengthen your skill set and offer that diversified book of business. Second, really take stock of your business. Can you leverage new technology to reduce your costs? Are there ways you can protect your business, perhaps through incorporation if you're an independent travel advisor, or voluntarily entering into a payroll account? Look at the steps that you can take to provide security for your business going into the future and reduce your operating costs to ultimately reduce your risk. Third, engage with ACTA. We rely on information from you to support our advocacy work. We only know what's going on and learn best how we can advocate for your interests if we hear from you directly. We continually send out surveys. You're going to get a lot more surveys in your inbox into the future, I'm sure. Please respond to those surveys. Reach out to myself or anyone on the ACTA team with any concerns you have. So not only are we apprised of the issue, but we can really engage those from an advocacy perspective. And finally, we saw this as critical throughout the COVID pandemic, and it's critical today. Speak to your federal, provincial, and territorial politicians, your representatives. Hearing from them directly about your concerns is so impactful. After following the federal election, you're going to see us bringing out more grassroots advocacy campaigns to help support you in your own grassroots work. So there's all these things, a lot of these things we learned through the COVID pandemic, and they transition to this situation as well.
Those are amazing takeaways. Thank you both so much. Thank you, Wendy, for everything you've done for Active and also for today. And also thank you, Avery, for all your information as well. Now we're going to show everyone a beautiful video showcasing Canada. Hi, I'm here with G Adventures CEO and founder Bruce Poon-Tip. Very happy to have you, Bruce.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'll jump right into it. Obviously, things are a little crazy right now. Some people are traveling. Most people are traveling. Some aren't. And just wondering what the effect has been on G Adventures. Now, of course, community tourism has been huge for G Adventures. It's one of the founding principles for the company. And travel is so important on sort of giving everybody a way to come together and find connections. It's more important than ever right now, of course. I'm just wondering what impact you're seeing on the economic concerns and the trade war. What impact you're seeing? Are bookings up? Are bookings down? What can you tell us?
Well, we've seen a little bit of softness in the market for April, for sure. I mean, G Adventures, I think, is performing better than most companies, and so we were, crushing it from January till March, and we've definitely seen a bit of softness in April. But at the same time, I mean, there are less people traveling to the U.S., of course, or booking to the U.S. Canada is very strong. Canada's up for us significantly. People coming into Canada. But I do think that it's like a wait and see kind of environment right now. I think that we've seen this historically when something like, there's nothing like this that's ever happened before, but when there's like, for instance, when Brexit happened or when something, there's a major market shift, travelers kind of hold on to the dollars as they kind of wait and see, and it doesn't stop them from traveling, but they sometimes take their time in making that decision and don't book as far out in advance, and we see booking patterns change. And we're starting to see that now. Yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned the bookings coming into Canada are very strong. So my next question will touch on whether you find the Canadian clients are booking Canada or if that's more inbound, and also what destinations or trip styles are selling really well for G right now. And sorry, a third part of that question, what's been the impact on your US bookings, like Canadians booking US itineraries?
Well, admittedly, we've not had a huge, it's not a huge business for us for Canadians booking, inbound USA. It's not a huge market for us. Our inbound USA is more of a global international market from Europe and from Australia, New Zealand, and even Asia, coming into North America. But we are seeing like domestic travel, Canadians traveling up is up more. And again, that's normally not a very big market for us, Canadians booking trips within Canada. But we're seeing an increase in that, which is slight. And yeah, there's no question that bookings are down. People right now wanting to go into the U.S., especially from Europe, and now domestic travel being up a little bit. We're seeing and also Canada just growing significantly of people coming, from all over the world wanting to book in Canada. So business is very strong inbound in Canada. But for the areas that are working for us. Our popular travel styles are still our popular travel style. The new G-Lux product is probably one of the stars of the portfolio at the moment. G-Lux, which we launched a year ago, is incredibly successful. National Geographic Journeys program is still very good. The most popular countries for us right now are, Peru, Ecuador and Galapagos, South Africa, Japan is massive, and we're almost up 80% in Morocco too. So. And rebounding destinations like Egypt, Jordan is up like a ridiculous amount. From a small number base, but and we introduced as well this year our soloish trips, and soloish into Egypt has been particularly big.
I have to congratulate you guys on your great branding. I mean, obviously you put a lot of work into it, but with G-Lux and Soloish, I mean those are great brands. And the solo trend I know is huge. Touching on that a little bit, travel advisors obviously have a big position of trust with their clients, and a lot of clients are looking for, whether they're solo or looking for high-end stuff. A lot of people are looking for travel that sort of makes an impact right now, and I know that is very much in G Adventures' wheelhouse. Can you suggest one or two itineraries if somebody's feeling kind of out of sorts with all the kind of a bit negative news going on in the news world right now? Can you suggest a couple of itineraries where they can really feel very connected to their travel experience, maybe have a bit more of an impact?
Yeah, I mean, I always go back to Peru. Peru is such an amazing community tourism destination with, and it's got the amazing Machu Picchu, really direct contact with community, and you can see, your benefit when you travel there. And going more remotely, I always kind of bring up the Galapagos Islands. It's just a magical place, more away from people. It's more remote destinations, and Galapagos Islands is always amazing. But right now, some of the hottest destinations are in Asia. South Korea is is incredibly popular right now, and Japan. Like, we cannot run enough Japan at the moment. It's an incredibly popular destination, and people can spiritually and connect to those destinations, as well as everyone knows Tokyo as being a big international, incredibly exciting city. But going out just outside of Tokyo and going to rural parts of Japan and seeing it the way we show it, you can really connect to the people and the communities of Japan, and the same thing with South Korea.
Thank you for all those suggestions. I think I can hear maybe people taking notes as we're going, because those are all incredible destinations. I want to ask about, with G Adventures, you've been in business for almost 35 years now, which is incredible. You've always been an innovator, and you've always been an industry leader. And I think we take it for granted that G Adventures will always be an industry leader, but obviously the company puts an incredible amount of work into that. How does G Adventures, or how does any company, but we'll talk about G Adventures, how do you stay relevant and sort of on top of your game and always that leading position?
I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, innovation is really at the heart of our business model. I mean, it's always been, how we ideate product, how we develop new ideas, farming ideas from right across our business around the world. So people, everyone has great ideas. Execution is really everything. And so innovation is a real, big part of what we do. And you can tell that by, in the last just few years through COVID, we've launched Romies. We've launched G-Lux and Solowish as just some examples, and recently Train Adventures as well. But it's a big part of our history, and it's a big part of our success. I think that, this year, I think we proved after 35 years, we've still got a little bit more gas in the tank. I mean, in this year alone, this calendar year, we've launched 300 new trips this year, and into new destinations as well, like West Africa and Pakistan and the Philippines. And so not only are we developing kind of deeper to old destinations that we've gone to in the past, we're always looking for new areas that are emerging and finding out great ways in which we can, show people the world. The stands in the last few years have been something we've really invested in East Central Asia. So, I mean, that's just part and parcel of how we run our business. And to be honest, it's actually really, we were doing it better than ever, because we've kind of come back from COVID, and we scaled down so small during COVID, laying off, thousands of past employees basically. And we built back very differently. And, speed to market is very important, and being nimble as an organization has been kind of the forefront of building back the organization. And we're just more innovative than ever before, even after 35 years.
I really appreciate that answer, because I know it's tough. Nobody wants to give away company secrets. And I think you walk the line very well between talking about how it is to be an innovator without actually giving away the secret sauce. So thank you. It kind of ties in with the next question a bit. In that almost 35 years, G has gone from like a startup in a garage to a global adventure travel company. It's an incredible success story. I know culture is very important to G, and that obviously ties in with innovation and the spirit of innovation. How do you foster that culture, and why is it so important? How would you describe G's culture?
Well, our culture has always been around community tourism and community ship, right? So our, community tourism involves everyone in terms of creating a dialogue with local communities benefiting, and travel being transformational for everyone. So that's been a really big and important part. But our culture and how we bring people into the company, how we attract some of the brightest people to work here and retain some of the brightest people, is about community and community ship. That ties into the idea of community tourism, that this group of people that makes up G Adventures has this shared sense of responsibility when we come together to not only make sure our customers have those amazing experiences, but we create something, new products and new ideas that people have never heard of before. But we also do it in a way that transforms lives, and that's always been at the forefront and really defines our culture. I mean, you can say that we've always followed our values, and we've been core values driven. We used to have this, happiness business model about people creating happiness, and, community ship is kind of something that's especially become more important to us after COVID, as we've kind of rallied people around this shared sense of responsibility that we have to make sure travel transforms lives, and not just the lives of our travelers. And, we've always said since the very beginning, not just now, we've always said we're not just a travel company. We have to transcend travel and engage our customers and our travelers to a much more higher purpose than just travel. And that's even more important than ever right now.
I guess that's what it means to be an innovator, that the things that you guys come up with 5 years ago seem so like, oh, that's really different. And then once 5 years go by, it's sort of like, oh, now everybody's doing it. And then you're always staying one step ahead. So congrats on that.
Yeah.
I'll go to my last question. I'll go to my last question. And it's just about, obviously, you're very much a made in Canada company. You must wear your Canadian roots very proudly. Can you talk a bit about, is that resulting, everybody's looking for made in Canada companies right now, at least Canadians are. Is that resulting in a bit of a bookings bump, do you think? And how are you getting that message out that you're a Canadian company?
People are definitely responding to the messaging around it. I mean, we launched a Born in Canada, Made to Travel the World kind of campaign. And we are offering 25% discounts to combat, the tariffs. We even created, these badges in recent shows that we kind of handed out that had like a maple leaf and Born in Canada with our kind of loop tail logo in it, and people loved them. And we've just went to reprint them again. I think whether the results are going to kind of show, the jury's still out. But people are definitely more encouraged to shop Canadian. And we're selling programs from all over the world. So you're buying kind of programs, but you have the opportunity to have this world-class company in Canada, and we can offer you the best global product, and knowing that we're kind of leaders in the world, so it makes it a little bit easier, our messaging. But it's just really interesting to see how people are searching on our websites and how people are searching for us to find us. They're actually now looking for Canadian companies before making those purchases, and we're going to see now, like our product isn't something that's an impulse buy, so we can't tell in 30 days because people research travel for many months before they actually book. But we're going to see shortly whether that turns into actually an increase in business.
For sure. It's definitely a stay tuned situation. Thank you so much, Bruce, for this. I really enjoyed it. And I'm now going to send it over to Cindy.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cindy Sostrotomo, Deputy Editor at Travelweek, and it's very nice being here. Here with me now is Christian Leibel-Cote, Executive Vice President, Global Sales at Colette. Hi, Christian. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Cindy. Very happy to be here.
So the theme of today's show is Proudly Canadian, something that's really resonating with a lot of Canadians right now. But something that not many people may know is that you yourself are Canadian with a very interesting sports background. Can you tell us about your Canadian roots and how that has factored in to your success at Colette?
Absolutely. Well, I was born in Quebec City, and couldn't speak a word of English until I was in fourth grade. Lived in Montreal from by the time I was I think 7 years old until I was 20 years old, and I was lucky enough that I had I do have a sports background. I played football in college in the United States for the University of New Hampshire. And then I had a chance to play for about a year and a half in the CFL for the Ottawa Renegades and the Montreal Alouettes. It wasn't a very successful career. It was a very short career, too many injuries, Cindy. But I'm very, very proud of where I come from. And continue to make sure that my kids are Canadian citizens, we spend our summers there every time in the Eastern Townships. We have a cottage there, my wife and I. My wife, who's the CEO of Colette, and so we're very, very involved in Canada. We love spending the time there.
That's really cool. It's fitting that you're here on the show, and I can't believe I'm talking to a professional football player. That's awesome. I did not know that.
Well, not a very long career. Too many injuries, and they weren't paying me enough money to not be able to walk. So,
well, I'm sure that success has helped you, build Colette over the years, and we all know that Colette has been around for over 100 years, a true testament to how the company has changed with the times. Where do you think Colette fits in today's touring landscape?
Touring for the longest time has really had the standard tours and the luxury tours. And, in the last 10, 15 years, Colette has really evolved as becoming a premium tour operator. And the reason why we've been able to evolve in that way is how we've really built our tours and how we design our tours. It's very different from the rest of the industry in touring. We have our own designers and buyers that live in the destination, and they're full-time employees of Colette. And they basically, our designers will, travel all around the country and design the tours based on what the travelers' wants and needs are. And we really have evolved and create these unique experiences all around the world. And it's been fun to see what we've done. And so that's where we've categorized ourselves, and it's where we're unique in this, and we're very, very proud of how we've created these tours. And it's a credit of always innovating throughout the years for the last 107 years. Still family-owned business, and we're proud of where we've come from and where we're at now.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot about one of those experiences, the Colette Premium experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and how it helps to differentiate Colette from your other tour operators?
Absolutely. So the pace is one of the things that we've took a look at, where 15, 20 years ago, you would probably people were looking more towards traveling, doing as many countries as they could in a matter of 10 days. You see a lot of tours right now where you might do 11 cities in 10 days. What we've done is really slowed down the pace significantly. And that's important to the travelers. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for to experience the destination and not necessarily go through the destination as fast as possible. So you'll see a lot more, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, and 5 night stays in the same areas. And that's important. And also it's the service levels that we provide, making sure that we provide, you cancel for any reason, so that your travelers are protected for in case of anything. And we're a debt-free company. And even if you talk about COVID, what we've done during COVID, we refunded over $235 million in cash to any client that wanted a full refund. There was no questions asked. So those are things that we're always there to protect your travelers, and that's something that we're very proud of, and that's part of the premium package. And so it's the service level, it's the pace of the tour, but it's also the experiences that you get on tour. And that's where our travelers really get to experience things that are unique that they wouldn't be able to do on their own. And that's because of what we're able to find with our designers that are essentially just discovering their own country and having fun doing it at the same time. They're travelers too. They're great travelers. That's why we have for travelers by travelers.
That's really good to know. And you did mention that Colette's been around for 107 years, which is a big deal, and it's obvious that, after thriving for over a century, you must know your customer very well. What can you tell us about today's modern traveler, and how can travel agents meet their needs?
Yeah, the Gen X and to the boomers definitely have changed throughout the years of what their wants and needs are. And that's why we're constantly researching and doing focus groups and really looking at ways for us to understand the travelers. So we survey every single traveler, and our response rate is it's a very high response rate. We're talking about a little over 70%. So we have the ability to make some changes, very quick changes based on what the travelers' feedback is. And so for us, that's something that we're constantly studying and making sure that we understand our travel. And that's something that we want the advisors to do the same thing, is looking at making sure that they understand what the why is for the traveler. And so that's what we've done throughout the years, is really understand the traveler, because they change. If you look at the traveler 5 years ago to prior to COVID, it's very, very different from the traveler of today. You look at the traveler, a 70-year-old of today is in much better shape than a traveler of 10 years ago. And they're looking for more experiences. They're looking to do more things outside the norm. So that's what we've changed through our tours, and you see that right now.
Well said. Absolutely. We do have time for one more question, Christian. I just want you to tell all the travel advisors listening right now, what's new for 2025? What do they need to know?
Well, look, we have our new tour that we're for the first time in their company's history. We're going to Albania, so it's the Balkans tour from coastal Croatia to Greece. That's our brand new tour. So that's very exciting that we're actually going to Albania, new destination. We also have the Gems of Greece. We have Namibia and South Africa. So I just went to Africa. I did Kenya and Tanzania with my kids. We took a whole departure day. I took my parents, my sister, and her kids, and so on. Africa is a very, very hot destination out of Canada. We're doing extremely well. So safaris really has been very popular. And then the other thing too, I have to mention Charms of Quebec, my hometown. Need to Canadians do travel within Canada and in their backyard. And Quebec City is one of the most beautiful cities there is. It's like going back to Europe 400 years ago. And the food is fantastic. You can't go wrong with that. So I always want to mention that because, that's where I was born. So
Proudly Canadian. And it's great that you brought your kids to Africa. I'm sure they had an amazing time. What a great learning experience for them.
It's something that I always wanted to. I promised my kids I would do, and it was the best experience to see the kids the first time they saw an elephant, less than a meter away, or to see a pride lion eating a giraffe. All of the experiences that they've had, and we laughed throughout the whole time because there were so many things that happened to us during that trip. It's an experience that they'll never forget, and that's something that I'm really proud of.
And isn't that what travel is all about? Absolutely. So
Travel is
thank
all
you,
about
Christian.
learning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Christian, for being with us today. It was so great catching up. And I hope travel advisors listening learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy.
All right, so let's check in with Devins for some exciting prizes.
All right, now for the fun part, we are going to draw some prizes. So the first prize of the day is going to be a Northwest Territories prize pack. And that is going to Candace Gills of Breeze Travel. Yay, Candace. Okay, please make yourself known in the chat and someone will get you your prize. The second prize of the day is going to be 2 nights at the Chelsea Hotel in downtown Toronto. And that is going to Joy Moore of Expedia Cruise Ship Centers. We then have 3 nights at the beautiful Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. Wow, that's a good one. I wouldn't mind that one myself. And that is going to Paula DeBazy, and she is with the travel agent next door. And the final prize of this round is going to be a keg gift card. And that is going to Richard Payne of All Points Vacations. All right, to all 4 of you winners, Candace, Joy, Paula, and Richard, please make yourself known in the chat and we will help you getting your prize. Now we're going to have a quick update from Globus from Denise, a lovely woman who I had the pleasure of traveling with last year. All right, let's hear from Globus.
My name is Denise Harper, and I'm the Managing Director of Sales at Globus Family Brands here in Canada. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the future of travel. And thank you, Travelweek, for asking us to be part of this. We did a survey to over 35,000 people, travelers across the continent, asking them what is their wish list and what's driving them to make decisions when they buy travel. So we're going to share some of those with you. First one is they're looking for a more intimate small group setting, even if that means paying more. So that's really good for us because at Globus, we just introduced small group discoveries, which is 15 people in so many destinations across all of the continents. So we offer these worldwide experiences that only small groups have access to, which is really good for the travelers. There's just like rainforests in Costa Rica. There's the ruins of Italy. So we've got 50 of those tours. The second thing that they were looking for is a more relaxed feeling on board river cruising. Again, Avalon can step in. We've done this huge refresh. We have an average of 130 travelers on our ships. And in the next 2 years, we're going to do a complete refresh of all of our ships. We're going to update the interiors. We're going to update public spaces, including the flooring, the carpets, the furniture, that sort of thing, the creamies, the beautiful in color, trendy decorations. We're going to add another Starlink antenna, so that's going to give us better connectivity for those that want to keep connected while traveling away, and other things, upgrading our sky deck, our fitness, our observation lounge. So that's pretty exciting. We're also offering something called Avalon After Dark, and that means when the sun goes down, you don't have to just go to bed. It's lights up, vibes up. So new after-hour experiences. We're going to do dinners al fresco under the stars. We're going to visit ruined bars in Budapest, speakeasy in Amsterdam, that sort of thing. All right, so where do they want to go? They want to go to Ireland, Scotland, Italy, Greece, Iceland, still South Pacific and Africa. So some big ticket item trips there, which are really good for you. If we look at river cruising, Rhine is still number one, followed by Danube, and the Douro is picking up pace, which we're really happy about. The other thing is they want to talk about is when they want to travel and how often they're booking. So we're looking about 93% told us they want to have a choice of excursions when they're traveling, and they want flexibility. So we do offer that. We have 3 different options when people are traveling with us. We've got the classic trips, which are visiting the museums and the churches. We have discovery, which is looking at a cooking class or doing art. We also have active, which is what you think. It's walking, it's hiking, it's bike riding. So real good options. The last trend that we want to talk about is group travel is hot, and they want to travel with their family and friends. So look at multi-gen. There's some great, meaningful shared experiences they can do. And if you want to book with Globus, low stress. You're going to get one person that's going to support you through the whole way. How to find a group, how to market a group, how to close a group. And don't forget, we've got group discounts. We have extra commission. You can make a lot of money, and we've got the support here to help you. So hopefully we gave you some tidbits. Happy to have a bigger discussion if you want at any point. But thank you for listening, and thank you for Travel Week for asking us to be part of this. Hope everybody has a great day.
Thanks, Denise. Those evening activities sure sound exciting. And now we have the Director of Sales for Quark.
Hi, travel advisors. David Marathakis here, Director of Sales for the Americas with Quark Expeditions. We've been polar obsessed since 1991, focusing exclusively on one-of-a-kind voyages to the Arctic and Antarctica. Navigating on our fleet of small polar vessels, all under 200 passengers, with our unmatched guide-to-guest ratio, we're able to flex the best experience every day. Polar's all we do. With over 34 years of polar-only travel experience, we've built the best team in the business, with an unparalleled depth of knowledge. We only operated in 2 regions, the Antarctic as well as the Arctic, which is comprised of voyages to Svalbard, Greenland, Iceland, and the Canadian Arctic. Our pioneering spirit drives us to push the boundaries of polar travel with industry-first innovations, including bringing the first ever group of consumer travelers to the North Pole in 1991, and doing the first ever visit to the Emperor Penguin colony of Snow Hill. Itineraries like our Antarctica by Helicopter Voyage Greenland Explorer program are designed to maximize adventure and exploration. When it comes to exploring, we offer several helicopter opportunities on board the Ultramarine, Zodiac cruising, kayaking, biking, and even camping to ensure our guests get closer to the action. Let's begin with Antarctica. The Antarctic landscape offers awe-inspiring diversity, from glaciers and mountains to fjords and icebergs. The clients can cross the legendary Drake Passage by sea or by air, explore the iconic Antarctica Peninsula, or even venture across the Antarctic Circle. For a truly immersive experience, they can combine the Falkland Islands, South Georgia, and Antarctica on our epic Antarctica itinerary. And for those seeking rare wildlife encounters, Snow Hill is a must, home to thousands of emperor penguins and their chicks. Now taking a look at the Arctic region. The Arctic's rugged beauty and abundant wildlife awaits. Svalbard in Norway, known as the realm of the polar bears, offers unforgettable wildlife experiences. Greenland, the world's largest island, boasts stunning scenery and vibrant indigenous communities. The Canadian Arctic invites travellers to follow the historic routes through the icy channels, while Iceland's volcanic landscape and glaciers provide a unique perspective, enhanced by helicopter explorations. What resources do we have for our advisors? Our partner portal is your one-stop shop for all things Quark Expeditions. Here, you'll find training resources, marketing materials, advisor incentives, the latest news, brochures, and expert tips to help you sell polar itineraries. Plus, we've got Polar the Parker the Polar Bear, our virtual assistant, ready to provide quick answers. A highlight of our partner portal is our quote and hold tool, which makes booking the process seamless. Generate real-time quotes and hold cabin space for your clients without needing to contact our polar travel advisors. Our business development managers are always ready to support you. And additionally, our 24/6 Global Support Center offers three-way calling with your client and a polar travel advisor and you for a personalized assistance. Thank you for having me, Travel Week. I'm excited to see your clients embark on their unforgettable polar adventures with Quark Expeditions.
Thank you, David. Every time I see a Quark presentation, I get so inspired to go to the Arctic. So much fun. Okay, now we are going to hear from Atlantic City.
Hello, Travel Week, and a big hello to the travel advisors from across Canada. My name is Judy Pym, and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Visit Atlantic City, based here in Canada, and I'm really happy to be here with you today to be able to provide an update. I'm sure you're aware that Atlantic City is the second largest gaming destination in the United States, and in fact, Resorts Casino Hotel was the first outside of Las Vegas when it opened in May of 1978. Today we have 9 casino properties, 6 along the boardwalk and 3 in the marina area. Aside from these fantastic properties, of course, we have great non-gaming options from brands that you would recognize. Aside from casinos, Atlantic City has a lot to offer, starting with our historic award-winning boardwalk that goes on for 5 miles and runs along our 7 miles of free white sandy beaches. Great attractions in the area include our historic lighthouse, the iconic steel pier offering amusements on the water, and one of my favorites, Lucy the Elephant, who is a historic landmark. Stroll Atlantic City and enjoy our murals, or discover all of the streets from the board game Monopoly. That's right, Monopoly is based on Atlantic City. There's so much to see and do. We're really just scratching the surface. We offer water sports, and we're golfer's paradise with 13 golf courses in the area. Wineries, with one dating back to the mid-1800s, breweries and distilleries are also great options. And we have foodie tours. And of course, the Anthony Bourdain Food Trail, Atlantic City. Speaking of food, it's all on the menu in Atlantic City, from buffets and down-home diners to 5-star restaurants featuring celebrity chefs and everything in between. We're also known for great entertainment, and some of the entertainers performing this summer in Atlantic City include David Foster and Catherine McPhee, Darius Rucker, Sam Hunt, Chicago, and so many more. And of course, we have permanent shows as well. A great example is Hook at Caesars Atlantic City. With all of these activities and attractions and things to do, we know that good value is important to you and your clients. Atlantic City offers tax-free shopping on clothes and shoes, and we do have a Tanger outlet just steps away from the boardwalk, and they also offer an international coupon book for further savings. In addition, please visit our website, visitatlanticcity.com, and check out our Deals and Specials tab for great savings opportunities. Getting here is easy. We're located just 2 hours from Newark and 1 hour from Philadelphia, so there are many flight options. And of course, from Ontario and Quebec, it's an easy drive, approximately 10 hours from Toronto and 8 hours from Montreal. Atlantic City really is a great destination for all travelers, including families, and we look forward to the opportunity of welcoming you and your clients. On that note, I'll wrap up again with a big thank you to you for your time and your interest, and many thanks to Travel Week for having us today. Take good care, everyone.
Thank you so much, Judy. Now, we always think about flying when we are going on vacation, but here's another option. Let's talk about the train.
Good morning, Travel Week. This is Ivan, your national sales manager here at Rail Bookers, ready to showcase why you should be booking with Rail Bookers these days. Today, I'm going to take a few minutes to disclose the top destinations and itineraries that we have for Canadian advisors at this moment. So, first of all, it is important for all of you to ensure that you know how to check all the itineraries that we have on the website. We do offer over 5,000 itineraries pre-built. And I want to give you a little tip. The top destinations these days for Canadian to travel by rail with Rail Bookers will be Italy, France, Switzerland, UK, Germany, and also between all those countries, because it's easy to connect all of them. And how you are going to look at these destinations in our website? Very, very easy. You are going to do railbookers.ca. On the first tab, you are going to see destinations. Once you look at destination, will be the top destination. You always also can search by destination if you don't see. If you're looking for one destination like Austria that maybe is not super popular, but also we sell it, you can search on your right side on the little box that says search. Once you do that, you're going to see Switzerland, for example. Switzerland, amazing country to do it. The pioneers of the train with the 3 most scenic trains around the world. Now, once you get into a destination, there is different ways you can look. You can look by filter the results, and you can see on this slide that you can choose the cities that you want to visit it, and then by default it will showcase all the different, or by popular destinations, as you can see in this slide. Now, also, it is important for you to know which are the top trains, for example, in Switzerland. And in this case, I want to showcase the Glacier Express. How you can get more information about the Glacier Express and the different itineraries that we offered at Rail Bookers, very easy. Second tab. From the top, it says Famous Trains. And once you open Famous Trains, you're going to see the different display of popular trains that we offered at Rail Bookers, and we are going to choose Glacier Express. Once you click Glacier Express, you are going to see description of the classes of accommodation that we offer. In this case, it's not accommodation, it's more seating because it's only a day train. Okay, and then down below, you are going to see the most popular Glacier Express journeys. And you are going to see there is few with 5 days, 6 days, another 5 days, depends on the price, because of course, some of them maybe offer different trains, like, there's a Glacier Express plus Bernina Express, which is the other scenic train. But also you have the opportunity to see multiple trains in there, clicking view or Glacier Express. But remember, Glacier Express is very popular for Canadians, but also Canada is been booming, covered by rail, our beautiful country. But also, there is very popular, a couple of itineraries from Venice to Zurich or vice versa, because very easy to combine. And the opportunity that we have here in Canada to fly directly into Venice opens many different ways to travel around. Now, it is important also that you understand the description of our itineraries. So once you open the itinerary, you are going to see a description with itinerary and details. Very easy, and you can be sharing this with your clients. For now, I want to be sure that everyone checks our travel advisor toolbox. Plenty of information, promotions, customized flyers, videos, webinars. Okay, so don't forget, you put your email, IATA, and you will leg in. For now, I want to say thank you for the support. Thank you so much, Travel Week, for having me today, and looking forward to see all of you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for that very comprehensive look at the website and showing agents exactly how to book everything. That's very much appreciated. So now we are going to have a quick update from Myrtle Beach.
Hello, Travel Week, and hello to all my wonderful travel agent partners. My name is Rebecca Seeds, and I am your Canadian account manager for Visit Myrtle Beach. We are so excited to be here, sharing our love for all the hard work that you do to sell our destination. Myrtle Beach recently celebrated the 64th year of Can-Am Days. And if you're not familiar with Can-Am Days, it is a celebration of our love for Canadians. And every year, Myrtle Beach kicks off this celebration in the month of March with fantastic discounts, free events, and even your favorite Tim Hortons coffee. It's our way of saying we love our Canadian travelers and we will continue to support them when they visit the beach. Did you know that Myrtle Beach is a certified autism destination? And in April, for Autism Awareness Month, we hosted some fabulous events that supported families with sensory needs. You can find our autism-friendly vacation guide on our website, which outlines the areas of Myrtle Beach that support these families with sensory needs. And don't forget, Myrtle Beach is considered the golf capital of the world. We have over 90 courses and an average temperature of 25 degrees, really making Myrtle Beach a year-round golf destination. We also have some exciting new hotels coming online the end of this year and next year. So please tune into my webinar in August. I know it's a bit of ways, but with Travel Week, and we will be talking all about these new properties that are coming online in the coming years. Again, we thank you for all that you do. I look forward to working with you to grow your sales to Myrtle Beach, and please reach out if you have any questions. Thanks again, guys. Bye.
Hello to all the amazing travel professionals joining us today. May is the month we celebrate you, the incredible advisors who turn dream vacations into reality. At Huntington Travel, we're proud to support you, your ingenuity and dedication every day. My name is William Duplack, and I'm the Vice President at the Huntington Travel Group. And we're also making it even easier for you to create unforgettable experiences with our brand new small ship and river cruise products, more sailings, better options, and seamless booking process. More details can be discovered on our cruise landing page on huntingtontravel.com. Also, are you an advisor specializing in groups, or perhaps one looking to grow your business? Our groups department is your secret weapon. From family reunions to corporate retreats, we handle all those intricate details to assist you in delivering the most exceptional service. Plus, at Huntington Travel, you earn as you book with Hunt Rewards. Signing up is easy, and it's our way of saying thank you for trusting us, your partner in success. The Huntington Travel Group has been proudly Canadian-owned and operated since 1973, with a support team that's always here for you, attentive, friendly, and committed to your growth. We look forward to connecting with you soon. Connecting the world is our passion. Find us online at huntingtontravel.com. Thank you.
So let's live out our dreams and create memories right here in paradise, just you and me. If today's all we got, then baby, why not? Come on, let's go. Let me take you on a holiday. A romantic getaway. You and I can go and play a holiday.
Now that video has gotten us in the Caribbean mood, I have a very special guest. I would like to introduce Maureen Barnes-Smith. She is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Hello, Maureen. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Devlin. It's a pleasure to join you today.
Well, first of all, I have to say congratulations, because you've been with the company for 30 years. And wow, you must have seen a lot over that time period: SARS, COVID, 9/11. Wow. So now that we're heading into another period of uncertainty with these tariffs and the trade wars, do you have any advice for travel agents out there?
Well, we've certainly seen a lot, Devin. That's absolutely true. One of the things we're saying is that this too shall pass. That's the first thing I want to say. We have seen the gamut of everything, as you said, from SARS to trade wars. This is kind of a new reality for us. But I want to say to our Canadian travel advisors, stick with it, stay true to yourself, stay true to your craft, and remember that, the Caribbean is here for you. We have everything that you need. We want to make sure that, we have proximity. But again, I think the resilience of the Canadian travel agent, the resilience of the Canadian population really speaks to where we are today. And as I said, this will pass. If our recent experience showed us anything, is that there's nothing that we can't weather together as travel agents and travel advisors in Canada. And the industry that we have here is strong. And Canadians are some of the most resilient people. And we know we're going to ride this out. And we know we're going to come out stronger than ever, as our recent experience taught us. We go in one way and we come out stronger than we went in the first place.
Yes, I totally agree with what you're saying. If we can get through COVID, wow, we can get through a lot. So let me ask you, with Canadians now possibly avoiding the US to a certain degree, do you see this as an opportunity for the Caribbean to welcome more Canadian visitors, or perhaps maybe marketing the Caribbean as more of an all-round destination?
Absolutely. We are an all-round destination. We have everything. Devin, you've experienced it. We have a range of products within the Caribbean. First thing is the proximity. You can get from here to Jamaica, from here to Bahamas in just over 3 hours, from here to Turks and Caicos in just 3 hours, just over 3 hours. So the proximity is the first thing. Secondly, we're safe destinations. We have all-round offerings. We have sun, sea, sand, 365 days of the year. So you don't have to say, oh my God, it's winter. In the Caribbean, it's always summer. And if it rains, we say we have liquid sunshine. So again, we have the beaches, we have the cultural aspects, we have tons of festivals going on, whether it be Jamaica, we have Carnival in Barbados. All of the destinations have something special going on at this time of the year. So I know as Canadians, we tend to think, we have a few months of summer. It's hot. It's hotter in the Caribbean. And as we always say in Jamaica, it's hot, hot, hot. So I think the proximity, the value for money going into an all-inclusive, you know what you're going to get. You're going with brands that you can trust. You definitely know that, the Caribbean is calling. It's calling. We have the options, and we're really value-minded in terms of making some options available to Canadians that we've never had in a long time, which is, putting out some savings and some special promos for the Canadian marketplace. We're excited to be looking at that. But again, it's knowing that it's a 360 destination that you can get to 365 days a year.
Yes, I know personally. I've been to a Sandals resort in the summer and I had a fabulous time. So I can personally vouch for that one. Okay, you did mention some exclusive savings for the Canadian market. Do you want to maybe tell us a bit more of that promo special for us?
Absolutely. I love to talk and I love to tell you everything that's wonderful for Canadians. We just launched an amazing instant savings on a variety of resorts, starting with Jamaica, of course, Sandals South Coast. Guests can save up to $900 on a single vacation. And we really put that in because we wanted to do something special for Canadians in this environment. Again, it's only exclusive to my Canadian traveling population. It's available through Air Canada Vacations right now, exclusively. And also, if you contact us in the office directly, we can access that for you. And the reason for that is we do realize that something special we need to put in place for our Canadian guests. And that comes in the form of this, which we're offering Sandals South Coast as the anchor property with saving up to $900. But it also includes Sandals Royal Caribbean, Sandals Royal Plantation, Sandals Curacao, Sandals St. Vincent, and also Sandals Royal Bahamian. Again, because we understand that, we're not just one-dimensional. we're not just offering Jamaica, we're offering a range of property where you can get there easily with one direct flight from Toronto, connecting through the other 60 plus gateways out of Canada. It gives us that unique opportunity to get to the Caribbean, as I said, from as little as 3.5, 4 hours, and you're on the beach. And we like to refer to it from maple leaves to palm trees in under 4 hours. So again, we have those exclusive deals going on, but it's not just for the travel in public. We have the travel agents. We do have, they can earn their points to paradise, which is their points when they make any sandals or beaches booking. They earn based on the dollar value of the booking, and that's unique to the travel advisor that they can use for their own personal stays. They can also earn their exclusive ACVNB points on every single booking that they're making with their Canada vacation. So again, it's a win-win for both of us. It's a win for the consumer with the exclusive promotions. It's a win for the travel agent. And again, we know the customers are going to have a fantastic time, giving them another option to other destinations that they may not be too keen to travel to right now. But we're resilient and we're ready to host them any day, anytime.
Thank you. You've made a very strong argument for the travel agents to send their guests to the Caribbean. Okay, I know there was also a lot going on at beaches. I was at an event recently and so many new openings and things to look forward to. Do you want to maybe just run us through those?
Yes, Devon, you know how exciting that event we went to New York was, where our executive chairman and our executive team launched a $1 billion investment in our beaches brand. And again, just to back up a little bit, we've just relaunched our entire brands to be made of Caribbean. And what that means is that it really showcases the authentic DNA of our resorts. We're on the Caribbean and we're authentically a Caribbean company. But we're just relaunching the beaches brand in such a huge way. There's so much momentum. Not only are we updating, renovating, we're going into new destinations. So for example, we're launching Beaches Treasure Beach in the spring of 2026. That's adding just over 100 keys to that resort. We're launching Beaches Exuma. A lot of people know of Sandals Exuma. We're actually retooling that to be a beaches, and that is going to be launched again next year. We have Beaches Barbados, which is bringing beaches to a brand new destination, Barbados. And that is slated to be launched in fall this year. And we're also expanding Beaches Negril. We've just expanded to 3 and 4 bedroom suites at Beaches Negril. And we have another expansion expected for Beaches Negril. We're also going to be launching Beaches Runaway Bay, which is bringing beaches to a brand new Jamaica destination, which is the Runaway Bay area, which is much more accessible to the Montego Bay Airport. And that we're looking at having over 400 rooms and suites. The Beaches Barbados is going to be over 600 rooms and suites. And the one in Exuma is expected to come in at about 250 rooms and suites. So again, beaches is really on fire right now. And there's so much demand for, our beaches product, which is not just singles. It's not just adults only. It's families, it's groups, it's weddings, it's multi-generational travel. And we really know that our families have the most phenomenal times. We're expanding the repertoire of 2, 3, 4 bedroom suites. We're adding movie theaters, we're adding skating parks, we're adding, surf simulators. So we're making sure that we're enhancing the family experience whenever they travel. And we're excited really about where beaches is now. We definitely are having a beaches moment.
And I'm sure travel agents get excited when they're thinking of the price tag on some of these family vacations and the commission that they can earn. So thank you so much, Maureen, for being here with us today and sharing all about sandals and beaches, and also, why the Caribbean is ready and waiting to welcome Canadian guests.
Thank you, Devin. As I said, we're having a moment and we're having a Canadian moment, and make sure that you know that we're going to get through this. Anything that happens, we've shown as Canadian travel experts that we come out stronger than ever. So I'm excited to be a part of this and to welcome, not only our customers, but also our Canadian travel advisors to our resorts in the Caribbean.
Yes, and we'll remember your words of wisdom. This too shall pass. Thank you so much. And I'm now passing it to Catherine.
Hi, I'm here with Colin C. James, who is the CEO
of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority. I'm going to jump right into our first question for Colin. I just want to know, what would you tell agents who are interested in the differences between Antigua and Barbuda?
Well, hi, Catherine. Thanks for having me. What I'd like to say is that we are two distinct islands. Antigua and Barbuda is a twin island nation nestled in the Caribbean, and we have fabulous resorts. But Antigua is the larger of the two islands with the bustling capital, St. John's, and more touristy, more things to do. But Barbuda has a serenity and a natural beauty of its own. We have a storied history, including a functional Georgia Naval Dockyard facility. It's the world's, and the Caribbean actually, newest world UNESCO heritage site. You know, it's celebrating 300 years this year of history, famous for its yachting. Antigua has, vibrant coastal villages with little pockets of nature, including a rainforest where you can zip line through the trees. Bustling little city of St. John's, great for shopping trips, walking tours around the island and around the capital, and really, really having a lot to do. Barbuda, on the other hand, our little sister, is much quieter. It's a smaller island. It's only about 62 square miles and has only 1,500 residents. So it's about 27 miles due north of Antigua. And so you can get over there with a quick hop on the ferry, or a small little puddle jumper gets you over to Barbuda for a day trip or a day tour. But it represents unspoiled Caribbean beauty, Kathleen, with caves for exploring, pink sandy beaches. As you know, Antigua and Barbuda has 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. But in Barbuda, we have pink sand. And so pink sand beaches, you can see wandering donkeys, and the largest frigate bird sanctuary in the Western Hemisphere is located in the Codrington Lagoon. So the island offers a lot of nature and a lot of unspoiled beauty. So while there are fewer accommodations in Barbuda, you have the opportunity to go for day trips. But if you would like to stay over, there's the Barbuda cottages, Barbuda Belle, sustainably built properties. They're beachfront cottages right on the ocean, where you can be on Princess Diana Beach, which is like 17 miles of unbroken sand. So it tells you something of what to expect when you get there. And we'll also soon have a Nobu Hotel, because Barbuda has the only Nobu restaurant in the entire Caribbean. And that exists on that beautiful Princess Diana Beach. And now they're constructing a Nobu Hotel, which will complement that. So two distinct islands, but one cohesive experience and one unspoiled vacation.
Wow, that's a really good primer. I think agents would really enjoy hearing. I know Barbuda has always been, sort of the little sister to Antigua with good reason, but in terms of size at least. But it's a really interesting, unique, that actually covers off. I was also going to ask about, the importance of differentiating yourself in the Caribbean. And I feel like actually we've covered that a bit, because just with a Barbuda product, it's so unique and so interesting. So I'll go ahead and I'll get into the next question. And that's actually about infrastructure that you want agents to know about, like sort of, the getting there, the where to stay. Are there any new hotels? You mentioned the one in Barbuda, but aside from that, are there any new hotels you want agents to know about? Any airport development, airlines coming in that are new, anything like that?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a luxury Nikki Beach resort and resident. They just broke ground last year, and that's going to be located on our famous Jolly Beach. I mentioned the Barbuda Nobu Inn that's been constructed. We have just opened this year as well, Moongate, which is located on a beautiful half moon bay on the eastern side of the island. That's shaped like a sea, one of the most beautiful beaches you'll find anywhere in the world, and that's just opened this year. So a lot of our hotels, including the Sandal Grands, have done major renovations. The Royalton Chic, which opened just last winter season, they have over-the-water bungalows. So really, really a lot of new and exciting product for the Canadian visitors and agents to explore and to really, really see all that's great about Antigua and Barbuda. Barbuda actually opened a new airport, which is now capable of receiving larger jets. At the end of last year, we have extended our runway here at our major airport in Antigua, and we have really, really positioned the destination to take advantage of all that's happening in the travel trade, the growth in the industry, and really, really positioning us on an upward trajectory. So another thing that I think has differentiated us is what we have recently launched, which is ArriveAntigua.com, which is a digital, paperless immigration and customs platform. It's designed for your tablets and your mobile phones. And so 72 hours prior to arrival in Antigua and Barbuda, you can click on the website. You don't need to download any apps. You fill out the information. When it comes for your passport, you just take a photo. It scans your passport by your page. You take your own personal photo, selfie. It uploads it. You click on the different questions that are being asked, and you get back a QR code in like 10 seconds. and you present that to the immigration and the customs officers when you arrive. So your arrival and your departure on the outbound is effortless and efficient. And we've just saved a couple thousand trees by not using that paper form anymore. So it's great. It allows you to have a great arrival experience and less time thinking about forms and airports and customs, and just getting you through the airport as quickly as possible and on that beach so that you can enjoy that vacation.
That's great. That's good to know. Everybody always wants it to be a little bit easier. In that on that track, obviously Canadians might be looking for some different places to go this year with good reason sometimes. Are your destinations looking to attract more Canadians? Have you seen more Canadians yet? Do you think there will be an uptick of Canadians if they're avoiding other destinations?
Oh, absolutely. And we're really working with our team in Canada to get the message out to the Canadian consumer as well as the Canadian travel trade that Antigua is open for business and Canadians don't have anything to worry about. The last thing that people want when they're planning on going on vacation is any uncertainty, any stress, and we provide a stress-free vacation that's easy to get to, direct flights from Toronto with major Canadian air carriers into Antigua and Barbuda. We are English speaking, it's easy to get around. Canadians have a visa exempt stay for up to 6 months, modern medical facilities and accommodations for both, long-term or short-term. And so it's less than 5 hours away. So we like to see you can get up in the morning, Catherine, by about 5 o'clock. And by 2:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, we can have you at that beach, on that beach in Antigua, enjoying that first day of your vacation. So it's really easy to get to. Lots of activities. There's golf. There is the latest craze now, pickleball, sailing, and the spas. So we think that appeals very much to the Canadian market. And as I've mentioned, our 365 beaches, anything that's connected with the water, whether it's kayaking, kite surfing, sailing, it's all easy to do here in Antigua and Barbuda. So we are warm, we are welcoming destination. We are all year round open to the Canadian market, and we have that genuine, authentic Caribbean hospitality that Canadians love and will appreciate.
Definitely. That sounds amazing. I've just got one more quick question for you. It's got about a minute left. I'll just ask in terms of, obviously, travel advisors are very important for Antigua and Barbuda. Do you have any resources or tools, anything you want to just quickly mention that's a helpful resource for travel agents?
Definitely for the travel agents, we talked about the easy arriveantiguabarbuda.com. We also have initiatives that our tourist board has launched we reward our travel agents, because we realize that people sell what they know. And when our travel agents are educated on the destination, they sell it easily. So we also, last year, for the very first time, we launched the Black Pineapple Awards. And the Black Pineapple Awards, Kathleen, is named after Antigua and Barbuda's national fruit, the black pineapple. It's the sweetest pineapple in the world, found only here. It was a recognition of the efforts of our travel agent partners around the globe. We're repeating the awards again this year, where we celebrated our top 100 travel agents last year, and there were 25 from Canada, and we're going to do that again this year at the end of December, where we bring the people down who sell the destination and recognize them for all that they do for Antigua and Barbuda. So we're looking forward to that. So we encourage our agents on our specialist website, AntiguaBarbudaTA.com, to register all your bookings, because we'll be checking those bookings to see who the top sellers are, the top performers for the destination, and those top performers will also be able to be eligible to come on that all expense paid reward and recognition trip where we celebrate our travel agents. And this year as well, for the very first time, we are planning to establish our first travel agent advisory board. So stay tuned for more to come on that from the Canadian Tourist Office. We're always looking at improving our relationships with agents. We do co-branding promotions. We invite you to work with us whenever we are at trade shows or we're on the road at consumer shows. Our booths are always open for our Canadian travel agent partners to join us. So, if that's something that's of interest to your agents, please reach out to our BDMs. Please reach out to our tourism team in Canada if you'd like to connect and you have any ideas as to how we can help you grow your business to our mutual benefit.
Excellent, Colin. Thank you so much. Now we're going to throw it over to a quick update from another Caribbean destination, and that is Jamaica.
Hi, Travel Week Agents Canada. I am Oral Chambers, your Ontario-based business development manager for the GTA East and Northern Territories. What are we talking about today? Jamaica. Jamaica is doing awesome, ladies and gents. Thanks so much for your support. Thank you for your loyalty over the years. And yes, we are indeed celebrate our 70th anniversary of the Jamaica Tourist Board this month. So thank you for all that you do and continue to do in supporting and sending your awesome clients to the destination Jamaica. Now, many of us will be seeing some sunshine here in Canada, but let me tell you, a Jamaican sunshine hits different because a Jamaican sunshine involves jerk chicken, some red stripe, and somewhere on a nice, cool, windy day on a beach, just chilling out and relaxing. Yeah, man. So your clients deserve the best. So continue to send them to Jamaica and continue to expose them to the vibe that comes alive only in Destination Jamaica. So today we want to talk a little bit about how you can better sell Destination Jamaica. So to qualify us, some of our most unique attributes are our food. Gastronomy is amazing. We pack a punch and we punch way above our weight in terms of the global settings in terms of food. So when you talk about our jerk chicken, which you must know about, you talk about our Jamaican patties, which you must know about, and of course our national dish, which is our ackee and codfish. Many of you would have tried it if you've been to Jamaica, and many of your clients would have tried it as they have gone to Jamaica. So I'm sure everybody has always had a good time with the food. So Jamaica, very strong point is food. Another endearing point is, of course, our beaches, our beautiful, natural, gorgeous beaches right around the island. All of them have different personalities. For example, from the Covey, smaller areas in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, to the more lengthy and wide and calm powdery white sand beaches in the Grill, Jamaica's beaches will always wow you. But underlining all of that is the Jamaican people. Our warm hospitality is second to none. And we stand out among the world with our Jamaican people authenticity, our genuineness, and of course, our warm smiles that are always welcoming to your clients every time you send them. Remember as well, to become a Jamaica travel specialist by going on www.oneloverewards.com and take the small courses, the general course and the wedding course, graduate and become Jamaica travel specialist and have registered bookings. Registered bookings give you benefits such as independent site inspections in terms of meet and assist courtesies at the airports, and also in terms of discounts off of our awesome Club Mobile and Club Kingston facilities. So yes, there are benefits with you selling Jamaica, not just for yourselves, but also for your clients. We indeed are happy to report increased airlift to the destination so more people are able to be exposed to the awesome immersive experiences that can be had in Jamaica. And of course, we hope that you continue to sell and continue to support. Yeah, man. So thanks for having me, and thanks for having me Travel Week. One love.
Okay, now that we've had a little bit of a Caribbean run, it is very clear to all you agents that the Caribbean is ready and waiting for Canadian visitors. Let's switch gears and look at some river cruising in Europe.
Hi Travel Week, and a warm hello to all my Canadian travel advisor partners and friends. I'm Peter Uzunov, Senior Director of Sales for Riverside Luxury Cruises in Canada, and I'm excited to speak to you about our small river cruise line that's quietly redefining luxury on Europe's rivers. We may be a new name to you and your clients, but our roots in hospitality run deep. Riverside was launched in 2022 by Seaside Collection, a European-based family-owned luxury hotel group known for its award-winning boutique hotels in the Canary Islands, Spain, Germany, and the Maldives, which acquired the former luxury river ships from Crystal Cruises. This year marks our second full season of operations, with our 3 ships widely considered the most luxurious on Europe's iconic rivers. There's the iconic Riverside Mozart on the Danube, double the width of traditional river ships, offering unmatched space and grandeur for fewer guests than ships half its size. The Raval, sailing the Rhone between Lyon and Avignon, was named Best River Cruise for Foodies by Forbes. And the Debussy, which navigates the Rhine, Moselle, Main, and Danube, depending on the season. Each ship is intentionally intimate. The Mozart accommodates 160 guests, while the Ravel and Debussy carry a maximum of 110, up to 80 fewer than other ships of the same size. That means larger suites, more personal space throughout, multiple restaurants, lounges, and more onboard amenities than any other river ship in Europe, not to mention greater tranquility and highly personalized service. We offer a 1-to-1 staff-to-suite ratio, and every guest enjoys personal butler service. Our ships feature the largest galleys on Europe's rivers, more chefs with Michelin-starred experience, and the freedom to cook fresh a la minute meals with a culinary budget 3 times higher than others. There's no corporate template. Each ship operates independently, and its executive chef curates a regionally inspired menu using fresh, locally sourced ingredients, nothing frozen or pre-prepared. The result? Dining that is personal, refined, and rooted in place. It's why Cruise Critic has named us Best Dining on the Rivers 2 years in a row. And a remarkable cruise goes beyond the ship. Our curated shore experiences immerse clients in each destination's soul. Private wine tastings in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, after-hours classical concerts in Vienna's Belvedere Palace, chauffeured Land Rover wine safaris through the Rhine Valley, vintage Volkswagen hippie van tours along the Moselle, virtual reality adventures in Cologne and Amsterdam, and active options like hiking, biking, and kayaking. We also offer flexibility. Guests can choose all-inclusive, a la carte, or hybrid pricing options. Regardless of tier, port charges, gratuities, and transfers are always included. And our fully refundable deposits, up to 90 days before departure, make booking risk-free. And while Riverside is still the new name on the river, the industry has already taken notice. Travel and Leisure named us one of the top 10 river cruise line in our first year. Cruise Critic continues to recognize us for culinary excellence, and Forbes has endorsed us as the best luxury river cruise line. So, if your clients are looking for something elevated, where elegance meets intimacy and every moment feels personal, Riverside is ready. Let's redefine river cruising together. Thank you, Travel Week, and thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Future of Travel 2025.
Don't those ships look amazing? I'm still waiting for my invite. Okay, now we're going to hear from G Adventures again, and they have some sales tips for you agents.
Hey there, at G Adventures, we deeply value the work that you do. You're not just booking trips, you're helping your clients create memories that will last a lifetime. And we truly appreciate all the dedication, the expertise, and the passion that you bring to your clients' travel journeys. Now, are you ready to boost your sales and help your clients have even more life-changing adventures? Well, we've got you covered. Today, we're sharing top-selling tips for travel agents that will help you sell G Adventures just like a pro. Let's dive in.
First up, know your product inside and out. Did you know that G Adventures was born in Canada but made to travel the world? Yeah, that's right. We've been around since 1990 and offer small group tours to over 100 different countries. And with experiences ranging from active exploration to cultural immersion, there's something for every kind of traveler. The more you know, the easier it is to match the perfect adventure to your client.
Next, focus on the experience, not just the destination. It's not just about where your clients are going, but about what they're doing. Is your client looking to trek through the Himalayas, explore markets in South America, or immerse themselves through the wildlife of Africa? Highlight the experience they'll never forget.
Tip number 3, emphasize G Adventure's commitment to sustainability. Travelers are becoming more and more mindful of their impact on the planet, and G Adventures leads the way with sustainable travel. Share how our tours support local communities, promote responsible tourism, and protect wildlife. Your clients will appreciate the value of traveling with purpose.
And last but not least,
personalize your pitch. Everyone's idea of adventure is different, so get to know your client's interests. Are they thrill seekers, culture lovers, or foodies? By knowing their desires, you can match your client to the perfect trip and make them feel like the adventure was made just for them. And now let's take a peek at what travel really looks like with G Adventures. And finally, a very big thank you to all of you for being part of our greater G Adventures community. We couldn't do it without you.
This is Omar. And he's a travel hero. That's because Omar is on holiday with G Adventures, the world's greatest small group travel company. So they say. Because he's on a G Adventures trip, he's making the world a better place simply by having the time of his life. He's uplifting local businesses and the communities they support. He's getting a tree planted on his behalf for every day he travels. He's keeping an eye on just how much of his travel dollars are staying local. Omar is kind, curious, and compassionate. But like all travel heroes, he does get a little sleepy between 3 and 4 p.m. But hey, that's what happens when you're helping to change the world. Be like Omar. Be a travel hero.
Wow, Spain always looks amazing, doesn't it? And now let's hear about another beautiful destination, Vienna. Joining me now is Armando Mendonça, trade liaison for the Vienna Tourist Board and president of AMPM Canada. Hi, Armando.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Good. You know, you've been on the show multiple times now. You've become one of our favorite guests, and we always love hearing about Vienna. I hear it had a record year in 2024 with nearly 19 million overnight stays, which is amazing. What would you attribute this increase to? And is the city on track to surpass those numbers this year?
I think absolutely. I think there's a few factors. One, ever since Air Canada started flying from from Toronto to Vienna in 2019, that lift really helped, and they fly daily in the summer. And then, of course, added Austrian Airlines in Montreal. So with that lift, that makes a huge difference. And, you know, Vienna is in Central Europe, and Austria borders 8 countries. So, you know, it's such a great starting point to visit multi-countries, multi-cities. So I think that, you know, contributes to the success of Vienna. And as well, there's constantly opening new hotels. So the the accommodation increases as well. So I think all those factors contribute to the success. So that's great.
Absolutely. And it sounds like this year is a great year to go, especially because I hear that the city is gearing up for the 200th birth anniversary of Johann Strauss, which, of course, is one of history's greatest composers. What does Vienna have planned to commemorate the occasion?
Wow, it's a bicentennial celebration of Johann Strauss II. And they have various installations and celebrations throughout the city, up to, I think it is like 69 locations throughout the city, indoor and outdoor, with various celebrations and as well as various productions. But there is a list. I mean, these shows have been going on obviously since January, but there's a lot going on, and there's strauss.vienna.info, and that's where you can see the whole calendar of events. So, but as well, with Johann Strauss, I mean, they refurbished the House of Strauss, so that's a definite to visit. And the Stadtpark has the infamous statue of Johann Strauss. So it's such a great park, not only to stroll and have lunch. There's beautiful restaurants in the neighborhood, but you can take a picture, obviously, with Johann Strauss. It's a memorable year, so I think that'll be a great keepsake. And of course, they have, in the Central Cemetery, there's like an incredible tombstone of Johann Strauss. So it's, there's quite a lot. I mean, it's all Johann Strauss 2025.
Obviously, everyone knows that Vienna is big on arts and culture, and it's home to so many museums and art galleries and symphonies, as you mentioned. But what else does it offer that makes the city appeal to a wider range of travelers?
I was recently in Vienna in November, and it was actually not a foodie tour, it ended up being a foodie tour. And I really, for the first time after all my years, really experienced the Vienna culinary scene, and everything from local to Michelin star rated restaurants, indoor, outdoor. I mean, just the variety and the choices, and international cuisine as well. So, and the vineyards as well. They're so close to the city that you can actually go to a vineyard on the local transportation, and you're out of the city, and there's these charming vineyards. So I'm a wine guy, vineyard guy. So that to me is, and a foodie. So that's my two takeaways. And there's this app, the Ivy app, that you can download, and wherever you are in Vienna, it will tell you exactly what's happening, what's new, so you're not missing out on anything. And I had a shout out to my favorite cafe restaurant. It's in the Fine Arts Museum in Vienna, and it's such a must. When you go there, there's a picture of myself and Elke Buckner, which is the market manager for Vienna, based in Vienna, and Elizabeth, who actually, she owns Artistic Tours, so very bespoke. And so we were there, and it's just my go-to every time I go to Vienna. And one more, it's the Gloriette at the Schönbrunn Palace. I mean, when you go to the palace, you go to the Gloriette restaurant, cafe, the view is spectacular. So that's like my two top to visit when you're there.
Agents take note for sure. And, I loved the food and wine too in Vienna. I've been twice now, and I know you go very often, but there may be travelers out there who've already been and feel like they've already seen it all. What advice do you have for travel agents on how to convince their clients to return to Vienna after they've already been?
Vienna's constantly evolving. There's always something new to celebrate. There's always a happening in Vienna. So, when you go to the vienna.info site, you'll be able to sort of see what the city has to offer, more than just product that has been, hotels that have been renovated or reopened or launching. So there's that element. And I think Vienna as well is a place where you can start your tour, because the average stay is like 3 to 4 nights. So you can start your tour in Vienna, and then you can explore outside of the city, because neighborhoods is really important for Vienna, is to explore outside, and it's like a charming local experience. So you can see more than just the landmarks, and the city is breathtaking, but the neighborhoods are really charming. So that's what I would explore if it's your second or third time. And remember, Vienna and Austria is bordered by 8 countries. So it's such a great way to also explore other cities, other countries within an hour and a half. So that's, I think, the success of the city. It's where it's positioned and what it has to offer in the city, and also in the surrounding neighborhoods.
That's a good point. And as you said, there's always something new to learn with a city as big and diverse as Vienna. But Can you tell the travel agents listening in, how can they stay up to date on new offerings so that they can better sell the destination?
Typically, they have a B2B site, which is fantastic. That has, number one, it has an image library that you can use for free. It also has various collaterals and material to help sell the destination. And most importantly, you can sign up to the Vienna Experts Club, which is free. And with that, and when you sign that up, you can go to, when you arrive in Vienna, there is a tourist office that when you exit the arrivals level, you make a left, and there's a tourist office. You pick up your card and information to take advantage of the 24-hour Vienna card, which is free. And it gives you access to all the transportation and also gives you sort of all the discounts that you get as a travel agent. So, I mean, I think it's just a great add-on to, in addition to all the material that's provided. So yeah, to make it easy to sell. And you're also up to date with the Vienna Experts Club. You're up to date with anything that's new and upcoming.
Those are some great tips. Thank you for sharing that. And it's obvious that you are the Vienna expert, Armando. You've been many times, and I know how much you love the city. Can you tell us what's one thing that either surprised you or something new that you discovered on your most recent trip?
Yeah, so I was in Vienna in the summer as well last year. And one thing that I did is I rented an e-boat in the old Danube River. And it's such a great, you leave the city, it's about half an hour outside the city, and you can rent these e-boats and, you have lunch on them, and it's, obviously electrically motorized, and you're cruising along the Danube, spectacular view of the city and the surroundings, and you're having lunch, and you can have up to 8 people on these sort of e-boats. And that was like something, I don't know, I've never done it before anywhere. And I thought that was really, really cool. And the vineyards, it's like, for me, like such a charming experience because it's so close to the city. It's so accessible, and it's just a really lovely local way to experience the wines and the local food. So yeah, e-boats in the vineyards, that's kind of like my 2 top. Oh, and the Christmas market. I saw the Christmas market for the first time in all my years, and that was just, a picture, says a lot, but being there in Vienna during the Christmas, like if it's on your bucket list, plan it for 25, 26.
That all sounds amazing. I've never taken an e-boat. I'll have to try it one day.
It's
so that's
incredible.
all
I'll send you a picture.
Absolutely. That is unfortunately all the time we have, Armando. I could sit here for hours chatting with you because we just love having you on the show so much.
Thank you.
Time always flies when catching up with you. So now we're going to watch a quick video about Vienna. Armando, can you tell us a little about it?
Yes. This is a little spoiler. Johann Strauss's The Waltz Danube Goes to Space. Take a look.
In theaters. T-minus 60 seconds and count.
Today, we are making history. 28 musical masterpieces will be sent into space. Who knows? Some of the extraterrestrials soon be dancing to Bach, Beethoven, or the anthem of space itself, my personal favorite, Johann Strauss II's The Blue Danube Waltz.
Sir.
What?
You never gave us that record back, sir. The Blue Danube.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 17. Thank you. That's a good. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Cancel the mission! Aboard! Cancel the mission! Cancel the mission! Aboard! No!
And we have liftoff.
Stop! In 1977, humanity sent 27 of its greatest songs into space. The Blue Danube by Johann Strauss II was left behind on Earth. In 2025, Vienna is going to correct this mistake. Waltz into Space, Join our mission now.
Hi, I'm here with Stephen Cotter, who is Managing Director of CIE Tours. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. I'm going to jump right into the questions. First thing I want to know is, we know that Canadians love Scotland, they love Ireland, they love the UK. Can you tell us how important is the Canadian market to CIE Tours?
Catherine, it's very important to CIE Tours. There's a big connection between Canada and Ireland and Scotland and Britain. There's a lot of similarities with culture and heritage. There's a lot of history. A lot of people emigrated from these shores to Canada. So there's a lot of historical connections. And, we always provide an amazing warm welcome to our Canadian friends when they come to visit us in Ireland or Britain. CIE Tours has been around for over 90 years, and we're owned by the Irish government. So we're very proud of that. It's very secure. We've a lot of credibility. These are all things that our Canadian friends like and they want when they choose a tour operator and when they choose to travel. So we provide all that. And Canada is an important market for us. It's growing and we're excited about it. And we're investing in it, and the future I think is very bright for Canadians coming over this way.
That's great to hear about the investment. We love to hear that, and we also love to hear about the warm welcome because Canadians are looking for that right now. That'll go into my second question. Obviously, anybody watching the news lately knows that Canadians might be looking for different travel destinations this year. Are you seeing any sort of uptick as Canadians are maybe looking further afield?
Yeah, we have. In the last few months, we've seen an increase in inquiries and in bookings, thankfully. As you said, there's a lot of distractions at home, and look, there's opportunities for European destinations to capitalize on, and we're here. We've got a big welcome ready, and there's great connectivity. There's a lot of flights have been added over the last number of years between Canada and Ireland and Canada and Scotland and the UK. So the connectivity is there, the welcome is there. We've good value. So I think there's a lot of things to be positive about and a lot of options there for Canadians to explore.
I know Canadians definitely like their value. I'm one of them. I also want to touch on 3 destinations that maybe some agents don't know that you offer. You're such a UK specialist, but you also have Spain, Italy, and Iceland, I believe. Can you tell us anything about product in those countries?
Sure. Well, we're known for our core businesses, Ireland and Britain, and we do that exceptionally well. And we recognized a number of years back that our customer satisfaction was so high, it was like 95, 96%. But we only had about 10% repeat business, and that was because we didn't offer return destinations. So we decided to address that back in 2019. We introduced Iceland and we introduced Italy. And now this year we've introduced Spain. So we've 6 or 7 different itineraries of those countries that our customers can now choose from. And that really has addressed our repeat business. We're finding the repeat rate in these destinations to be a lot higher than it is back into Ireland or Britain. So that's really working. It's giving our travel agents and it's giving our customers something new to consider. And they're exciting new destinations for our teams to get involved in because they're all wonderful, beautiful locations, Iceland, Italy, and also Spain. So we're very excited about that. We really make sure that the level of quality and the attention to detail, the partners that we choose in these destinations, the tour guides, the coach companies, the hotels, the visitor attractions, we make sure that the customer experience is really at the high level that we're used to in Ireland and Britain. So we can guarantee that when people travel with us to these other destinations, it's very, very similar to the experience they would have in Ireland or Britain. So that's something that we're not willing to compromise on our quality or sacrifice any quality. We want to keep our reputation that we've built up over 90 years. It took us a long time to build up that reputation. We want to make sure it is very strong. So yeah, very excited about those new destinations. Don't think we're going to add in any new destinations as such. For the next few years, we're just going to maybe expand on the new ones that we have.
That's great to know. I know sometimes when companies pile on with a whole long list of destinations, it does get a bit dizzying. And so it's really nice that you're focusing on those core strengths for you. Can you talk a bit about how you're staying ahead of evolving touring preferences with your range of product?
Well, Catherine, we offer a number of different methods that people can travel at the moment. I mean, our bread and butter is our scheduled coach tours, large coach tours. We also offer small group departures. We offer bespoke customized groups. We offer private drive or chauffeur drive, and we offer self-drive. So we've already got 5 or 6 different ways that people can choose to travel with us, depending on what they like. I'm actually new now for 2026. We're just about to launch it and start taking bookings for hill walking and hiking in Ireland. So 2 new exciting itineraries. One is going to be featuring the south of Ireland and another the northern coast of Ireland. So something new and exciting for our customers and for our travel agents to consider. And it is a growing segment. Light active is a growing segment. I know Canadians love the great outdoors. They love getting out there in the fresh air, and you feel alive. So we're going to explore that and see what the appetite is for our customers to do that with us in Ireland. And we're very excited about that.
That sounds neat. I love the that you've given us a little look ahead to what people can expect. That's really special. Thank you. I just have one more question. Of course, our readership is travel advisors, and we have a whole bunch watching right now. And I'm just wondering, can you talk about quickly how important are travel advisors for CIE tours? Do you have any stats? Just how many, any stats that would show that? And also, do you have any resources, tools that anything special that you want to highlight?
So, Catherine, travel agents are so important to us. It's the backbone of our business. We get 80% of our bookings through travel agents. We couldn't survive without travel advisors and travel agents. And we're very happy to support them in any way we can. We offer generous commissions. You can earn up to 18% commission with us, depending on who you're affiliated with. We have other offers at the moment. We've got a very generous group booking bonus of $800. If you book a custom group through us, we'll give you a booking bonus of $800. And we offer a FAM discount of 30% for a travel agent and a companion to travel on one of our tours, any of our tours and any of our destinations. We're more than happy all year round to invite them along and to experience our product. And we also have a full suite of tools and materials, marketing materials, flyers, training videos. That's all available through our website and through our portal that agents can access. And we also have BDMs and a sales team that are there to fully support agents in Canada. We have 2 BDMs in Canada. We're investing in more boots on the ground in Canada, and we see a lot of opportunities there. And then finally, for Travel Agent Appreciation Month, we've got a special draw where agents can avail of a prize, or they can submit for a prize to be selected to go on one of our new tours, the Best of Spain tour, and that's for an agent and a companion to go on that trip. So we'll do that during the month. They can visit our website and they can see how they can apply for that prize. And we also have daily prizes of up to $100 voucher for agents to avail of if they make bookings with us. So we've got a few new things that we're doing just for Travel Agent Appreciation Month. And then we've other things that we do all year round to support travel trade. But like I said at the top, it's 80% of our business comes through these channels. Very important to us, and we're here to support and to work alongside travel agents in whatever way we can.
It's so nice when companies give back to travel agents, especially because when travel agents are generating so many of the bookings. Thank you so much, Stephen. I really enjoyed our talk. And I'm going to throw it over to Devin, who's got the grand prize.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, agents, for making it all the way to the end of the show. We have our final round of prizes. First of all, we're going to give away a $100 keg gift card, and that is going to go to Alfred Payne. And he is with Amex. Congratulations, Alfred. We also have 4 nights at the Warwick Hotel in Montreal, and that is going to go to Betsy Williams, and she is with Travel Only. Please, both of you, make yourselves known in the chat box, and we'll get you your prize. And the grand prize winner, who's going to win an $1,000 Air Canada gift card, is Gina Afan from Transat Travel. Yay, Gina. I really hope you use that voucher to go somewhere very special. Thank you so much, agents, for being here today. I'm proudly Canadian. You're proudly Canadian. We have some turmoil on the horizon, but we're going to get through it better than ever. And let's remember the words of Maureen, this too shall pass. So thank you, agents. Catch us online, read our news every day in the newsletter, and we will see you at the next Future of Travel event. Bye, everybody.
So let's live out our dreams and create memories right here in paradise, just you and me. If today's all we got, then baby, why not? Come on, let's go. Let me take you on a holiday.